welcome back to another episode of the Fourth World QuickTake. I'm here with my co-host Nicholas Todd Averly. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
All right. So today's news story is from AZ Family. Smokestacks at Navajo Generating Station in northern Arizona demolished Friday. The three tall smokestacks at the Hopi Navajo Nation ends a painful era of coal. So you were from that area. Well, what's your thoughts? You were from Forest Lake?
Black Mesa.
Black Mesa.
So this one, like our land up there was feeling
That Navajo Generating Station, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of people that have mixed feelings about this whole thing going down, but it was a big breath of relief for me. It was just my family in general, and just my own well being. I'm for renewable energy.
Yeah.
I'm for a clean earth. I'm for clean Mother Nature and everything like that. So kind of going out and seeing that the Navajo Generating Station went down, I was just like, finally, it took y'all long enough, but it was, I was able to watch a live stream this morning of it going down, and just kind of, I was just like kind of in shock at first, because I was just like, holy crap, this thing is actually being blown up. Like, that was like my first time actually ever seeing something live being blown up. What's your thoughts on
Yeah, so it's nice. So from what I know of the generating power plant issues, is part of it was that we didn't own it, right? For a long time, to the very past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
It was some of them out of the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know that the Black Mesa, the Peabody mine is owned by China for sure. So I'm not too sure who owned NGS. Probably the same people, probably.
I don't know who was doing all these contracts, but someone messed up big time.
It wasn't Navajo Nation.
Was it?
Well, I don't think so. Like at first, because like how I said, like Peabody's owned by China.
Yeah.
And it's just like, really? Why is China own, like, somebody's pockets got filled with money to be able to get that through,
Yeah. So it's been a long time. Like, we are in a stage of going into renewable energies, which is why we fought at DAPL so hard, like the Dakota Access Pipeline. And we wanted to go more toward green, because that's the future. And it's just like we're living in a past decade, and there's a lot of consequences with it. Like it polluted our water, it polluted our ground. Like, we lost so much water. Like I remember watching like a little documentary about it, and the way they move the coal is through all water. So they're running through like these little slides, and they push it through with water.
Pretty much,
and it's like all water based.
And pretty much Navajo Nation is already really, like, water is scarce on our nation, and you're just going to use whatever water we have for coal. Like, come on, we really need that for our own people, and it's just, there's good and bad consequences out of NGS shutting down and all that. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be great for Mother Nature. But the one thing is, I think a lot of people don't talk about, is a lot of the workers that work there were Navajo people, local people that work there. Yeah. So now Navajo Nation and Page had to figure out a way to find a way to get more jobs out that were lost when NGS shut down. Like, yeah, it was really bad, but it was a source of income for a lot of people. Now, what's Navajo Nation going to do to be able to fill back in those jobs that were lost with NGS?
Yeah. So the way I explain it to like the people who ask me, like when I'm at school or at work, was that the Navajo Nation didn't really have to go towards casinos in the beginning of our reign, because we had coal. We were funded by coal, and we had all this coal money, and we didn't have to go use casinos like other tribes did, because we had our natural resources. Mm-hmm. But now that's gone, like 4 years ago, they've seen it, so they transition into casinos. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, it's a way, but I don't think it's the best way. Yeah. Like, we have to find something else than casinos and fossil fuels, I guess you could say. There has to be something better that our people can produce that can help give us more funding for our nation. More than just like people coming in and gambling and all that. But, I think there should be other ways. But right now, at the time, we don't have anything else.
It's kind of hard. Like, it's hard to start a business on a reservation, because it's only like our people there, and we don't own any of our land. And all the like grazing and what's the housing lease
The grazing authority or whatever.
grazing, and then what's the lease thing?
Homesite lease.
Homesite lease. Yeah. There's a huge problem with that. Like, it's a long process just to get your homesite lease and get it built, and then on top of that, running water and electricity even takes even longer once you do have your house built. So there's a lot of challenges we face in just having our people living on our land.
Yeah, and that's just one thing. Like, if it's hard because you got to start up your whole nation pretty much. If you want more income to come in, you got to be able to have, I guess, an item that can be sold and traded outside of the Navajo Nation that brings in income. There, you can build off of that. That will create more jobs, more businesses, and more financially stable people. Because right now, a lot of people in our nation don't have a lot of money or even resources to build a business that they want, and that's one thing I think we're really. I just wish that flea markets could blow up more. Like, the people that actually go there and have shops can each have their own store.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of places out here that have unique, especially in the flea markets.
The people who make those rolls, bro, that would make money.
Yeah,
those rolls are money.
Or
tamales.
I remember when I was in Denver, there was a native store that was a restaurant that sold Navajo tacos and Navajo food, Native American food.
Talking about brown butt?
Oh, but that,
food,
but
authentic American food.
Yeah, but having a Native American restaurant in the city was popping, And I know there are restaurants all over the res that have Navajo tacos.
You talking crap about my stand?
Oh.
we only do Christmas parade.
So, bro, you need to go big.
Well, about that, it's a lot of work. Anything food based. It's a lot of work to put in, and it's a low profit margin. We discussed when we were talking about businesses.
Yeah.
Foods has a lot of operating costs. The building, the workers, you got to buy the food, you got to cook it. Yeah. All of that, it's it adds up and makes your profits really, really small compared to something tech, where Dropbox or Spotify or Apple Music, you just look up the website, boom, enter your credit card, $5 a month. It's there's no operating costs. It's all in the back end.
Yeah, just but just like how you said, you got to pay for building costs, you got to pay for food, you got to pay for labor and all that stuff. But if you go digital, you just got to pay for the site itself, which is a lot cheaper than actually owning a business, which I don't know,
it's great because Wi-Fi wasn't. It's still hard to get on the res, but it looks like we're expanding more from the past article we read. But it's kind of too late. We needed this 20 years ago.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing is it's really great that just when you think of it, kind of you brought up the Wi-Fi, you brought up all of our people, going to bigger and better places. It does really seem like our people are finally. It seems like our nation is being steered to the right direction. It sucks this COVID thing happens, but because of it. We were able to get funding to be able to bring electricity through NTU Way to a lot of people on the reservation through that COVID money.
Yeah.
And with that, and then also we were able to get Wi-Fi. NGS got taken out, and so I really hope they could put a solar farm on there.
A solar farm, yeah.
You put it right where the NGS was.
So, from what I remember from during the election, from what was our past president? It wasn't Ben Shelley. It was the other dude that before Nez.
Jonathan. No, it's not Jonathan. It was God, what was his name?
We always forget. It wasn't Russell Begay. So from Russell Begay and Jonathan Nez, when they were debating, Russell Begay said that Jonathan Nez didn't have the business mind to compete with the loss of the Navajo generation station, because all the money comes from there. And he said once that ends, we're gonna have no money. So it's you gotta have the foresight to do other things, which is why he was going to the casinos. How do you think Jonathan Nez is doing? Well, it's kind of hard to judge him with the pandemic, but on that basis, what do you think?
Is a big kind of step back, and I think it did help him out a lot. With funding coming in, but You know, they opened up that
the CARES Act. The CARES Act. We need the CARES Act.
CARES Act came in clutch. I think it did. But as far as what they're gonna do, like I said, a lot of jobs were lost with NGS, man. A lot of jobs. Like I know a lot of people like who lost their jobs because of it. You know, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how the native like Navajo Nation reacts or tries to re-employ these people. You know, so without them having to go back to school or learn a whole new trade. So let's find out whatever it is.
It's so nice to have my podcast host being a solar person to have the new energy in mind. And this is a great step. Like we need more though. We need more. We need to get away from the past. And we need to go in the right step in the future. Because I remember being a little kid, my parents used coal a lot. But then when the coal got really expensive and things started like the supply started dripping down, it was harder to get, and we stopped using it. But I remember coal used to burn forever. Yeah. Like I remember we used to put it in before we went to bed at night, and it would still be there in the morning.
Dang, yeah. So if y'all need help installing solar, hit me up.
You know, click like and subscribe. So thank you for watching the podcast. Click like. If you hate Myron Miser, keep bringing that up. Thank you for watching.